Hi guys, I'm Laura.
And I'm AJ.
And welcome to Under SF Alternative Cultures.
Everyone knows San Francisco for its technological advancements and mogul reputation in the tech industry. We're home to enormous tech companies like Twitter, Google, Facebook, as well as thousands of startups. However, underneath our tech culture, there are many overshadowed and underrepresented local cultures that make our beautiful city vibrant and unique.
That's right, AJ, and throughout this show, we will be exploring the history and the presence of 8 underground cultures native to San Francisco. And today, we are narrowing in on San Francisco hip-hop culture.
Now, hip-hop was born in New York through an emulsion of civil rights activism, jazz, funk, social justice, and a counterculture opposed to the mainstream music of the 80s. This new and alternative street culture spread like wildfire, and soon enough, hip-hop and rap music could be heard across the country playing in inner-city neighborhoods by Black and Latino youth. When hip-hop culture hit the West Coast, specifically in the Bay Area and LA, each side of the state put their own twist on the music to create a unique sound and style.
From Too Short, MC Hammer, E40, Celly Cell, Andre Nicotina, and Mac Dre are just a few of the Bay Area's hip-hop pioneers that paved the way and ultimately caused the youth to emulate and perpetuate hip-hop culture. Hip-hop is one of the biggest youth movements in history and is very much still alive here today.
What many people don't know about hip-hop is that it contains much more than just the music. The 4 elements of hip-hop include graffiti writing, DJing, breakdancing, and MCing or rapping. We met up with local hip-hop artist Chris O'Bannon at his studio to get a better look.
I go by Chris O'Bannon. I'm an artist and a student at SF State. I'm a 4th year and just been working as an engineer at a studio we built and made from nothing in San Francisco, man. We got this place about 6 months ago, but we were really already running sessions with the equipment we had at an apartment in Westlake, and we were doing sessions with 3 or 4 clients and then we got to a point where we felt we were like consistent enough to just invest and start paying rent somewhere, and then we got this place. When I moved to Frisco, I feel like it changed my music perception of like accepting music for what it is and not the way it sounds. Because where I'm from, like in Compton in LA, it's all about the way that it sounds, and if it's professional, like, oh bro, you didn't really go to the studio, bro, you in your room, you know what I mean? Out here they got records that's crazy, not even professional quality, but it's about the feeling, you know what I mean? And that's where San Francisco took me as an artist. But it did kind of take away from what I think my like vision of what I think quality is and like perfectionism that I had, you know what I mean? But other than that, I feel like it's all positive. Just the Bay Area in general, the music and the culture is so rich and so core, like it's a core value, you know what I mean? If you're from the Bay Area, you gotta know Mac Dre. The rap scene in San Francisco, like the rap scene, like I feel like it's a like crazy, like it's like evolving because there's so many different sides to San Francisco that you don't know about till you come to San Francisco. Because I'm in LA, you know what I'm saying? Like I had a whole perspective or like perception of what I thought San Francisco was. And then when I came here, bro, I brought shorts. I never pulled those shorts out. You know what I mean? And that has to do with the music too. You come here and you learn about music that you never knew about. And if you heard it and you knew about it, you didn't even know how to feel about it till you came here and someone shows you like, bro, do you know about this? It's a good rap scene. But when you leave the bubble of the Bay Area and you go out to other places, people have other perspectives of it. And that's like anything, bruh. But it's just about the way that you cater to one specific demographic. If you only focus on that demographic, then you're only gonna go as far as that one demographic. You know what I mean? Like if you only focus on this bubble, you're only gonna be in this bubble. And I see that a lot of the rap people like out here, they're not like, I'm not gonna say comfortable with it, but it's been like a reoccurring thing that people just get comfortable being here and working in these venues and working with these people. So I mean, it's a box. So it's hard for me to really stretch my wings out here a lot. I think the Bay Area culture on a more wide variety range like of people who like accept it is going to happen because of the mainstream process it's going through right now. It's a lot of people going through a mainstream process of understanding what people like out of the Bay Area. And so once someone keeps popping off that sound, it's only natural that everybody's gonna go around that. And then once they gain that, that sound that is there and it's mainstream to where everybody can accept it, you know what I'm saying? Like, eventually there's gonna be there's a whole lot of other things that go into the success of this type of artist music, but there's gonna be like a Justin Bieber out of like the Bay, for me, with that Bay sound. That's gonna work, you feel me? And then everybody's gonna copy that, or anyway, you know what I'm saying? There's gonna be a lot of people that just builds like from here, you know what I mean?
Coming up after the break, we have an interview with local San Franciscan DJ Mike Cool. Stay tuned for more hip hop history.
Don't worry, 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft.
To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play at least 60 minutes a day.
Okay, time for the team obstacle course. Yay!
What this place needs is more healthy kids. To get involved or donate, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
Why is my son having trouble in school?
Finding lowest airfare to Istanbul.
No, I'm tired of fighting with my son over his homework.
Home walk restaurant. Need a review?
No. He's smart, but his mind wanders.
7 wonders of the world.
Why don't you understand me?
I do. I was trying to show how Connor feels every day. Redirecting to understood.org.
Join parents and experts at understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues to help your child thrive.
I rescued Toast from a shelter in 2011. I love Toast because she's a lazy diva. Toast does whatever she wants, obviously. She's sleeping right now. She's an epic snuggler. She's so comforting. She's so loving. Toast makes me laugh. When I walked into the shelter, I knew right then that she was special.
Welcome back to Under SF Alternative Cultures. Today we're learning about the underground culture of hip-hop in San Francisco. Earlier we went over the 4 pillars of the culture: DJing, MCing, graffitiing, writing, and breakdancing. And next up is the DJ culture.
DJing, or turntablism, is a huge part of hip-hop culture. And some of the art form also has a rich and colorful history of its own. The history starts with African Bambaataa, who in the early 70s transformed his street gang into the hip-hop crew Universal Zulu Nation. Bambaataa became known as the master records for the wide variety of music and break records he would blend in a DJ set.
One of Bambaataa's contemporaries, Kool Herc, pioneered the breakbeat when he noticed that crowds would go crazy for the drum breaks in funk records. Looping these breaks back to back became the blueprint for hip-hop production. We met up with San Francisco local DJ Mike Cool to get a better look.
My name's Michael. I go by DJ Mike Cool. I've been DJing for about 4 to 5 years. I love to spin records and play music for people that people can enjoy. One of my main things is breaking records, and what that means is just playing music that people never heard about and just keeping that culture alive of DJing, because that's what it was all about. It's a lot of culture here, and it's a unique culture that I feel that you wouldn't find anywhere else. We're very heavy on Bay Area music, and just if you were to play a Bay Area song at a party, it's just a unique turn up that people get, and just like excitement, and they sing along to the words and everything. It's a unique culture that you probably wouldn't see in another town or city, but it's definitely evolved over the 20 years. Just the rise of these artists now, it's definitely different. I wouldn't say, for example, the rap game, I wouldn't say it's so much about lyrics anymore, just more about catchy hooks and catchy phrases, you know, something that people can catch on. I feel like it's what I call the Snapchat generation. Is people's attention span is so small nowadays, and you know, you have to keep up with the times, and you know, you got to change the music because people's attention span is so small. So you know, no one really wants to, you know, you're at a party, you don't really want to hear deep lyrics and deep topics and stuff like that. But I mean, I think at the end of the day, I feel like it's music, and you know, music is just a freedom of expression, and you know, I'm not against how the way music is like right now, but you know, I spin new records, old school, everything. You know, I'm not opposed to the new mainstream music right now. Yeah, definitely the Bay Area music. It hasn't really gone nationwide like that. For the reasons why, I really don't know. Honestly, I think it's just it's really not the artists that make the Bay Area music out here. It's not, you know, it's like a very distinct sound, and you know, I feel like that's all they make. Just Bay Area, they go over a Bay Area sounding beat, and that's all. You know, that's all they want to do. They're not really, I guess, diverse. My favorite time period of hip hop in the Bay Area would probably be, I'd probably be E40. You know, a lot of people would say Mac Dre, but honestly, I never really listened to Mac Dre like that until I got a little older and I saw how people really liked him and stuff. But I never really listened to Mac Dre like that. But definitely E40. I feel like you know, he's been around forever, and his music touches every generation. You know, you get the old school crowd, new school crowd, you know, people my age, 20, 21, 15-year-olds, like everybody knows his music. So I definitely say E40. Yeah, just hip hop culture in general and DJing, definitely it's grown into other things. Clothing is a main thing in hip hop culture. For example, I got my new line of hats that I just dropped. Of course, it definitely has that hip hop feel to it, and just, you know, rocking hats and you know, streetwear and everything like that. And my exclusive hat says "Break Records" on the back, because you know, that's what I'm all about, just breaking records, you know, exposing new music to people.
Up next, though, we have a very special interview with local hip-hop artist Max Von Soest. Take a look.
Well, I make beats, produce. I would say I'm a part-time rapper because I don't fully commit to it, but mainly the production aspect of it is what I do. I was born and raised here, so it all happened here. I actually am more of an East Coast hip-hop fan. You know, like Tribe Called Quest is one of my favorites of all time, and guys like Nas and Notorious B.I.G., those type of guys. But I feel like just growing up here, you couldn't not, you know, study Too Short and E40. It just, you know, and Mac Dre you weren't not gonna do that being from here. So I love that too, but I think where my heart lies and like what I choose to listen to more of is East Coast stuff for sure. Unfortunately, it's kind of, I don't want to say it's dead, but it's certainly not like it used to be. We used to have a lot of people who were big nationwide, and now it's very, I guess, kind of conformed to the Bay Area and I guess just the West Coast. There just isn't the same amount. I mean, in the early 90s, you had Pac was living here. You had all sorts of people like that, and that was I would say probably the biggest time for Bay Area hip hop was the 90s. But now it's sort of faded away, which is unfortunate, but I think that's just part of, there hasn't been a lot that's coming out, and also just I think the music industry kind of just moved to LA and other places. Like once the South took off in like the 2000s, that was around the same time that it sort of faded here. And I think in regards to the East Coast, just because that's the birthplace of hip hop, it's never going to die. You're always gonna have constant culture there. So it's sad, but I mean, I guess it's up to people like I Am Sue, and maybe, I don't want to put myself in that category, but like all the people that I work with and like all of us more underground people, to sort of try and revitalize it and not forget where we came from. The Bay Area sound is kind of the foundation for West Coast, what's coming out of the West Coast now, but I think that it probably will shift. I know a lot more people are trying to steer away from that, because I think the blueprint hasn't been the greatest in terms of like, it's like, okay, yeah, you can get people to listen to it in the Bay Area, but outside of like California, no one's gonna understand this sound.
I'm hoping that people get March Madness like I'm an attorney running for.
There's a lot more platforms now. I feel like it's kind of, hip hop in general is being revitalized with guys like, if you just look at the very top of it, guys like Kendrick and J. Cole, those guys are sort of bringing back a classic hip-hop sound, and I think just revitalizing it for everyone. So I think that that's inspiring more people and sort of reintroducing people back to hip-hop, whereas it kind of died in the early 2000s and the late 90s. And it just became super mainstream, and you couldn't tell what was hip hop and what wasn't. Now, if you turn on 106, you'll actually hear, hip hop occasionally. So I think that is inspiring people to, bring that back, and it's catching people's ears. So I think that, and there's always never been a shortage of people doing it in the Bay Area. I just think it's more of the culture in general that was suffering for a while, and now it's sort of getting revitalized.
Mr. Dilla, your legacy will forever live on. Word is born.
But up next, we have a very special live interview and performance right here in the studio. So stay tuned, and we'll see you after the break.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Fancy pants peanut butter? A big screen television? You haven't even bought a sofa yet. A motorcycle? When your father finds out, he's gonna flip his shoes with 2 buckles? What do you even need 2 buckles for? Mr. Big Shot, buying whiskey shots for everybody in the bar. From the looks of it, I'd say nobody even remembers. Feed the pig.
They're coming. Places, everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Looks like it's done.
Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So learn the right temperature to cook each type of meat. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
Hi, and welcome back to Under SF Alternative Cultures. Joining us here today is Rocky J. Hi, Rocky. Welcome.
What's up? How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Chilling, man. Thank you for having me.
No, thanks for being here. It's such a pleasure.
For sure.
You're here all the way from the East Coast.
Yeah, I'm originally from Washington, D.C. Moved out here 3 years ago after I graduated from high school because I really wanted to do hip-hop, and I knew the Bay Area, specifically San Francisco, was a great platform for me to do that.
Great. Awesome. So it's treating you good so far?
Of course, of course.
Yeah. What's your favorite part of San Francisco?
Ooh, that's a toughie. I have to go with the Mission, man. There's so much history there and just real people that live there. And right now they're trying to change it up a lot, but really cool people from there. So that's what I love about it.
Sure, you can get a lot of inspiration from there.
Hella graffiti around and stuff.
Yeah,
so,
definitely. So tell us, how does that inspire you with your music and kind of your style of hip hop?
Well, I mean, like when you write, you just got to be true to yourself. So all my writing and all my lyrics are from either past experiences or it's like what I'm about to do today is a song that I want you guys to hear or what I think that you guys want to hear in a song. So, of course, like where you're living shapes your artwork, and I think the Bay Area has crafted my art to be very artsy.
Very artsy, definitely. No, and when I think of the term rapper, you know, there's also DJing, MCing, and you go further beyond just the lyrical part. You're a really talented pianist and saxophone player.
Yeah,
right?
I started out being a musician when I was a young kid. That really helped out with my lyrics and stuff and my rhythm of and understanding the music. And I think it's very important to understand musical theory because then I could communicate better with professional musicians and studio engineers, and at the same time have a little more edge to some of these other rappers.
Right, definitely. And along with your edge, you have experience. How long have you been doing this for?
Oh man, I've been performing since I was a little kid, like 6 years old, just at violin recitals and stuff. But when I get nervous and stuff, that means it's usually for a good cause or like I care about the performance.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm a little nervous for this. I care about this, so yeah.
Well, don't be. You're doing great. You have great rhythm. Tell us what's your hip hop style? I know you mentioned before BPM. What is that? How does that play into your
So BPM stands for beats per measure, and that basically means the whole feel of the song, you know. So my style is 95, and that's very head bobbing, old school East Coast hip hop, and you know the new styles now with all this trap music and stuff, it tends to stay in the 140 or 88 BPM. But for me specifically, I like to keep it smooth and lyrical, so that's the 95 style for me.
Okay, great. So what's the style like right now here in San Francisco?
Oh man,
how do you describe it?
Bay Area loves the hyphiness, you know what I mean? Hyphy movement started in 06 and stuff. Yeah, Mac Dre, even HBK, shout out to all of them. But that's especially why I do what I do. So, and that's why I'm here in the Bay Area, because it's not only me, there's hella people in the underground hip hop scene who are still doing hip hop, and that's what I love. It's a clash of cultures, and I think only out here you can do that.
Yeah, definitely, I agree. But tell us more, what is it like making it as a rapper in San Francisco?
Well, I haven't made it yet, but it's awesome, honestly, because it's not just me. There's a whole wave of underground artists that are coming up, and especially also visual artists too. We all know each other. We're the whole new Harlem Renaissance, but we're the Bay Area Renaissance, you feel me? So whoever else you get on your show, I mean, you got Chris O'Bannon and stuff. We all know each other. We all click and we all work with each other. So we're just open up, and that's what I love about the Bay Area is that we're willing to work with each other.
Okay, and you have a show coming up, right?
Yes, I do. Underground Uprising next Friday. Underground hip hop artists, underground graffiti artists. If you're at First Fridays in Oakland, come out and you'll really get a sense of the Bay Area underground.
Awesome, definitely. Well, we'll definitely have to check that out. And you have a little treat for us today. You're performing.
Yes. Yeah, I do. I actually wrote this for the specific performance. Since you guys are doing underground cultures in SF, I wrote a little piece about what I think what the mainstream hip hop wants to hear. So this is for y'all. What's up, Becca? How y'all feeling, man? SFC, how y'all feeling? San Francisco, California. Yeah. I said I'm spaced out, laid out, bright light, rain cloud, same weed, same pound, 30 dabs a day now. Ass up, face down, models trying to hang now. Doped out, lounge back, full moon, fades out. I'm punching livers down the Hudson River. I'm catfishing hoes, lying about the subs and Tinder. I'm seeing gold in the shape of glitter. I'm being
told I can make it better. Who said it? Damn, I can't remember. I wouldn't last a single day, hunting in the wild, chief and loud, give a child in denial, black him out. I used to ask for cigarettes, cause all I had was change. Now I'm finna find a lady that can polish up my chain. She keeps her face fake, make her waist straight, takes it off, sucks me off, jerks me off like a shake weight. So climb the ladder like a cheetah on the prowl. Time flies, keep your eyes wide open like an owl. Check the style, this is uptown, battle leaves the nest. Head first, deep diving, learn to swim without a vest. Stay hidden in the shadows, trying to stand on the throne. Burning bodies for a sacrifice, or feasting with the crows. Food caps for the low, bad bitch on the boat. Mirror, mirror on the wall, tell me what I don't know. Yeah, it's a scary world full of people like me, not giving about authority or police. Drinking iced tea, might be sipping high C. Northwest DC, baggy jeans, white tee. But now I'm in the bay, surrounded by cocaine. Kicking back at every party, sipping Henny with champagne. It's a shame, these youngins use the body for a substance. Drug using, but who doesn't? So this the beast from the east. The R-O-C-K-Y to the G. So tell Ali I don't float like a bee. And tell Kanye I got a darker fantasy. And yo, Jay-Z, I'ma get that rich. And say Eazy-E that your wife was a bitch. I fantasize of expanding my mind. What the hell on my spine? Reminisce, I'd have a hell of a time. And now it's heaven I find. All of my weapons are lines. Rhythm rapping the intelligent kind. Yeah, I got elephant eyes. I see the medicine's mine. Elevating to a mellower time. When DJs juggled and B-boys shuffled. Young Rock G from the DC jungle. Yeah, it's dangerous. The 7-chord changes. Many different colors and tones and slight angles. Lay 100 gigs for 100 different strangers. But it wouldn't mean if you don't got a banger. So two for the culture, 3 for MCs, and none for the vultures. 1 for hip-hop, and 2 for the culture, 3 for MCs, and none for the vultures. 1 for hip-hop, 2 for the culture, 3 for MCs, none for the vultures. 1 for hip-hop, 2 for the culture, 3 for MCs, and none for the vultures. Yeah. Save the Ethnic Studies building, man. Rock G coming in from DC. Thank you very much.
That was tight, man.
Thank you
Appreciate
so much,
you showing
man.
up.
Thank you very
Rocky
much.
G,
For
people.
sure, for
Rocky
sure.
G, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you check out his show. He's gonna be doing it in Oakland. Let him know the date.
March 4th, next Friday. Look up my stuff on the internet, Rocky G.
All right, I'm AJ.
And I'm Laura.
And that's Under SF Alternative Cultures.